Welcome to GRUNG TV, the entertainment hub for news, views, reviews, and gossip. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on your notification bell.
Welcome back to GRUNG TV. 5 men has been taken into custody by the Clarendon police in connection with an armed robbery in the parish last night. Reports are that police received reports on incident at a mini-mart in Palmer's Cross area and responded. According to Assistant Superintendent of Police in Clarendon, Hugh Downey, the team acting on intelligence intercepted a white Toyota Axia motor car along the Hales Main Road in the vicinity of Jamalco plant with 5 men aboard, including 2 teenagers. A search of the vehicle revealed 2 Smith & Wesson 9mm pistols with 2 magazines, each containing 9 rounds. A quantity of assorted goods and undetermined sum of cash were also seized. The men were taken into custody pending an investigation. Charges are expected to be laid soon. Police investigators were called to a scene on Studio One Boulevard in St. Andrew this morning, where the body of a man was found with multiple gunshot wounds. Yesterday, the police reported that 368 people have been killed across the island since the start of this year. This was 17 or 5% more than the number of people killed in Jamaica over the same period last year. Police detectives have taken 2 women into custody for questioning in connection with the fatal shooting of Constable Jermaine Bennett last night. Police sources say Bennett, 36, had gone to a house in Portmore to visit the 5-week-old baby and was inside the house when he was pounced upon by armed thugs who opened fire, hitting him several times. 2 men and a woman were reportedly seen running from the shooting scene. The baby was not harmed. Deputy Prime Minister and National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang is expressing condolences to the family of Constable Jermaine Bennett, who was killed by gunmen last night. The constable, who was assigned to the Kingston Western Zones of Special Operation, was killed in Portmore, St. Catherine about 9:45 p.m. It is alleged that Bennett was visiting family in Portmore when he was attacked by gunmen. 11 wanted for murder. In addition to Luton, the list consists of 11 other men who have been implicated in murders. The list is completed by 1 man who is wanted for attempted murder, 5 men wanted for shooting, 9 for wounding, 2 for assault, 1 for escaping custody, and 1 for rape. The fugitive team is assigned exclusively to track and facilitate the arrest of criminals who are wanted in the parish of St. James, said Ellis. Even though the team operates in St. James, the DFAT also crosses divisional boundaries on the trail of criminals. Fabian Kilikili Morris, who was elevated to the list briefly after he allegedly shot and killed Marvin Holness in Nicaragua Square on Friday, February 5th, was tracked down and captured in Arcadia District in southern St. James. At the time he was held, he was found with a black and chrome Taurus 9mm pistol loaded with 18 rounds of ammunition in his waistband. Among the men wanted for murder are renowned gangsters Odin Bummy Squeeze Brown, Romaine Dutch Thorpe, Marshall Jesus Dillon, Orrin Mike Dunn, double murder, and Sanjay Oderi Nelson. Among the well-known gangsters wanted for shooting are Kevin Chotdan White, Javon Cookinall Campbell, and Sheldon Yellowtape Gray. These men are considered armed and dangerous, and it is in the best interest of the public not to have these men operating in their communities. So if they are seen, the police should be immediately alerted, said Ellis, who earlier this year branded the renowned violence producer as terrorists. We cannot have a safe St. James with these guys running around and shooting people. It should be interesting to note that the average age of men that wanted for murder and shooting is approximately 25 years old and are predominantly from inner city communities in northwest St. James, the constituency of National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang. While St. James is largely considered a nursery for cold-blooded killers, it is also be a graveyard for high-profile gangsters, many of whom have died in gun battles with the security forces. Last year, Delana Preke Wilmot, who is arguably the most exclusive gangster St. James have produced, was killed at his secret hideout in Cambridge in a confrontation with the security forces, ending his 4-year reign of terror, which included several gun battles with the police. The police said they have arrested and charged the main suspect of committing a double murder in St. James on Friday, January 15. The police said Navarone Hazi, otherwise called Mock, was arrested during an operation in Norwood area of the parish on Thursday, March 18. He was charged with 2 counts of murder and wounding with intent and illegal possession of firearm and ammunition on Friday, March 26. It is reported that about 8 o'clock on the night in question, Hazi and a group of men went to a bar in Norwood where they shot and killed killed 47-year-old Donovan Reed and 20-year-old Nikada Daly. The Clarendon Municipal Corporation, the local authorities responsible for issuing vending permits, say it is aware of the afternoon's incident where a female vendor was chopped several times by a male vendor following an altercation in Maypen. The corporation says it wishes to make it clear that the vendors were plying their wares illegally in space and the area, which is a no vending zone, is being overrun by vendors. The incident, which took place in the vicinity of Bargain Village, sent other vendors and shoppers running for cover after an off-duty officer in the area had to fire several shots to ward off the man. He was later arrested and taken to the Maypen police station. It's understood that the incident was a culmination of a week-long argument between the two, who were arguing over space. The woman remains in hospital with sharp wounds to her head and upper body. The man was celebrating his birthday on that day. 2 people have been confirmed dead as a result of injuries they sustained during a motor vehicle accident on a section of the Orchard Main Road in Hanover. Our news source understands that several others have suffered injuries and were taken to the hospital. The accident has resulted in a large pileup of traffic along the roadway. The Greater Portmore Police have charged a second person in connection with the fatal shooting outside a church in Old Brighton 3 weeks ago. O'Brien Spencer, 24, was charged on Wednesday with the murder of Rowan Martin. A 16-year-old boy was recently charged with Mr. Martin's death. On March 5th, Mr. Martin was attending a funeral when he was shot several times in front of other mourners standing outside the church. The getaway car was later intercepted in Greater Portmore. There was a reported shootout and the teenager who was a passenger in the vehicle was held. The other passengers fled. A loaded firearm was seized. The police have captured a suspect who was being sought in connection with the shooting of 2 security guards during a robbery at a credit union in Portmore, St. Catherine 2 weeks ago. The man was nabbed in Manchester last weekend. Another man who turned up at a hospital with bullet wounds shortly after the shooting was detained. It was reported that about 2 p.m. on March 16, armed men began robbing customers at the credit union. A team from a private security company responded. This led to a shootout with the gunmen. 2 of the guards were shot, 1 later died. 2 Jamaica Defense Force soldiers who are charged with sexual assault were offered bail in the sum of $500,000 when they appeared in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Wednesday. Anouk Moncrief, 21, and his co-accused Michael Grant are scheduled to return to court on April 29th. It's alleged that on March 11, the 2 soldiers are on patrol at Up Park Camp when they saw a female trainee and a male colleague having sexual intercourse. Both accused allegedly demanded money and threatened to report the 2 individuals. It is reported that when the male soldier went to retrieve the money at an automated banking machine, the female trainee was sexually assaulted. The police say a woman have been arrested following yesterday's seizure of 75 rounds of ammunition on St. Michael's Road, Rockfort in Kingston. The police said that officers assigned to the Kingston Eastern Division were on operation in the area when the discovery was made.